Welcome to another episode of Chummy Thumbs podcast. If you've tuned in recently, you'll know that we like to talk films and TV and all things pop culture. If you've tuned in even more recently, you'll know that we've been following along with the Disney Plus TV series, Star Wars Skeleton Crew. Today we're exploring episode 3, titled Very Interesting as an Astrogation Problem. In this episode, our young adventurers, Wim, Neil, Fern, and KB, continue their quest to return home to their planet of Attin. They place their trust in a mysterious man named Jod Narwood, played by none other than Mr. Sexy himself, Jude Law, who we discover is a man of multiple layers and may not be all he seems. The episode deepens the mystery surrounding the kids' home planet of Attin, revealing it to be maybe an important jewel from the Old Republic, purposely erased from modern star maps and hidden to the naked eye. This revelation raises questions about the planet's isolation and its significance within the galaxy. So sit back or forward and join us as we jump in and out of hyperspace, fuel lines be damned, as we dissect the themes, character dynamics, and plot twists of the latest episode.
Let's go.
Raise those
that's
mugs.
Why we had to delay. That's why we had to delay a day.
Because I had to write that. I had to write that intro.
Sorry, wrong mug.
What mug is that?
Wrong
Traitor.
mug.
What does that say?
You had one job,
Best
Justin.
coach ever. Oh, sorry guys, I grabbed the wrong mug. There it is.
That's
one,
what it says.
One job. Worst co-host ever.
I'll take worst co-host.
Ho-coast?
I'll
So
take
co-host.
worst co-host if it gets me best coach ever.
Hey Justin, what's your team record so far?
I don't remember.
Okay, cool. Let's moving on.
Moving
All right,
on.
Hayden, it's all on you now.
Well, I was
Go
actually
ahead.
going to throw it straight to you guys. I wanted to hear who wants to disperse their thoughts on episode 3 first.
Justin, you go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Listen. Okay. This is like an episode I've been waiting for. Okay. The first episode, it got me. I was hooked. Second episode, building on it, but I wanted more. And finally, we get into this one. We just get a lot more reveals about Attin, more reveals about the characters, more characters introduced. So I felt like a lot of stuff was brought to light in this episode, and it was packed with action, which was great. It also left me with so many more questions.
Yes.
But I don't know. I don't want to like just start jumping around all over the episode, but just as like a first sort of response to how I felt about it, I thought it was great. There was one moment again where I felt, is this a bit too childish? But just like the first episode, it was like gone. But no, I really liked this episode. Really, really liked it.
Yeah, same. I think for me, the main thing from was that it ended with an equal amount, if not more, questions. You know, I'm like, oh, like mostly, I guess, surrounding Mr. Sexy himself, as Hayden called him. It's just
that was
him,
weird.
you know.
That was the best on-the-spot thing I could say for Jude Law.
Mr. Sexy.
Mr. How about
Quickly
Mr.
describe him. Oh, he's so
So
drippings with sexy.
Okay, I'll
What?
redact it.
Just
And Mr.
so
Mr.
sexy.
Swagger.
No, it's too late. It's on record now.
No, we all heard it.
It's changed to Swagger now because he's a space pirate, so it's Mr. Space Swagger himself.
Mr. Space Sex.
Space
Scott.
Mr.
Sex?
But yeah, it's just more of yeah, we got some answers. We got some. I think remind me, guys. Okay, so when I first watched this, I was watching it in one of the things that Justin said last time was that he loved how episode 1 and 2 started with a bang. Remember? And so I was for episode 3, I was like, what's the bang gonna be?
I know, dude. I wanted it so bad. I wanted a big bang right off the start. But
I
listen,
think the loudest bang was maybe the closing of the jail door or something.
yeah. So
No.
Okay, so at the very start of it, I wonder if you guys picked up on this too, because we had talked on previous episodes, like, hey, what is the secret? What is the treasure? What's going on? What's Fern's mom's involvement in it? What's Wim's dad's involvement in it? Like, we're starting to, you know, think that maybe these characters are involved a little bit more. And now what we found out is the great work, which leads to another question. But anyways, if you noticed at the very beginning, and maybe it's nothing, but I don't think so, all the parents were like reacting at like a 10. Oh my gosh, oh, we got to get him back. Oh, we got to get him. And it's like, it's breached the barrier. No, not the barrier. That whole time, Wim's dad, he was
Oh, it's way silent. Too
he was
suspicious.
silent. He was obviously upset. He understands this is not good. But I was just getting this vibe like, does he know something? Like, is there a severity to this that he's, I don't know. I just got this feeling like
There's definitely something
he knows
there.
a little bit more than maybe what the other parents do.
Yeah, because I think he had a solo shot at the end where like it's like
Yes.
3 seconds of him kind of looking concerned, but it's just a solo
Yeah.
of him, right?
Exactly.
And you're right that people the lesbian couple were freaking out, but I still think Fern's mom. There's more to be discovered with their Fern's mom,
100%. I still think there's more with her. And it maybe it goes back to one of our earlier theories where she's maybe a higher governing person or higher up, and he's high up too, but more on, like, I don't know, like the tech side or the working side or whatever, the science side, whatever it is, I don't know. But I feel like they're both somehow involved in this great work thing.
Totally.
That's something I picked up on right away. I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah, because I think we briefly discussed it a little bit, or we kind of glazed over it, that the parents are giving off vibes that, there's definitely more there. And so leading into this episode, that was always in the back of my mind. But remind me again that one of the questions we had at the end of episode 2 was that, if he could have broke out, why didn't he do it before? And I think they answered it right at the very beginning, right? And what did Mr. Sexy say, Hayden?
Hayden was right. It was Hayden.
I was
Hayden
right.
was the one who threw it out there.
I'm paraphrasing, but he found no reason to break out because he had no ship. So he was just like, I'm just going to wait until something happens. And it fell in his lap.
Yeah, it fell in his lap. And it's interesting because, and I wrote it down because it's one of the earlier questions I had, because when they're having the whole Jedi conversation, I was like, I got to a point, I was like, is he a Jedi though? I was like, I don't think so. And I even I was writing this down. I was like, yeah, no, you know what? I don't think he is. I think he's just kind of like using that. And then of course we find out later on in this episode that he's not. Now, is he not because maybe he's just force sensitive, or is he not? Maybe he was a youngling, and when Order 66 happened, and then he didn't have, the further training to become a Jedi. That we still don't know. I feel like he was a youngling. I'm leaning that way. That's what I think. I don't think he's just force sensitive. I think it kind of would be more three-dimensional if there was a little bit more of a backstory, and it kind of opens up the doors for some more things if he was in fact a youngling.
That's the theory that I was kind of hedging towards as well, because I had to do some background research on to find when exactly in the timeline this story was happening. And it's happening 5 years after the Battle of Yavin, 9 years, 5 years after the end of Return of the Jedi. So it's in the same time period as The Mandalorian.
Right.
So, first point, there is potential for crossover cameos even though there's only, 5 episodes left of some of those characters. Maybe. Depends on which season of Mando it crosses over with. But anyway, it's in that time frame. So
I don't want that. I don't want that.
No, but
No.
they might, but yeah,
No,
hopefully.
not season 1. Don't get to that season 1. Like build
If
this.
it gets more
build
than that.
this. Yeah.
It's highly unlikely because, Favreau and Filoni are working on the Mando Grogu movie, so I don't think that they would waste their time on doing that. But there might be some character, maybe some of the bad dudes from Mando that show up. Who knows? But the main thing is that Jude Law was a youngling, so he might not have had enough practice on training with the Force while he was a Padawan before Order 66 happened to have anything more than what he's got. And it would also make more sense that if the Empire is actively hunting down every Jedi to kill them, what's the best way to hide other than doing what Obi-Wan did and and Yoda and go to these desolate planets? You become a pirate, you change your name, and you essentially become hidden in plain sight. So I totally agree with your thought there, Justin, that's...
Okay, so let's go on that for a second, because do you think, because he goes by, we also find out in this episode, he goes by multiple names.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, 3. Hayden just held up 3 fingers. I'm not sure if that was an innuendo.
I don't know
he
if
was
the audience can hear my fingers held up.
Yeah.
3.
So do you think those are aliases, or do you think he is taken on, because in some of the earlier Star Wars stuff, I don't even think it's in the movies, there are people who imitate other people. So is he imitating and just taking on as if he's that person, or do you think it's more he's just, because he's a pirate and he's obviously not always the best at it, and maybe things don't always go right, he's just always kind of using a different name and a different alias and kind of popping up all over the galaxy that way?
I think my speculation, obviously still early now, but I think it's because I think they're aliases. I do think that in a way he does remind me of Jack Sparrow in a way. Yeah, not just because of Crimson Jack, but Jack has all these stories about how he escaped the island, how he just fabricate things and make things up to build his legendary sort of aura, or whatever you want to call it, his character. So I feel like, I don't know, he's obviously a very shady and dodgy character at this point. I guess you kind of know his true intentions. He wants to go to Attin and all that stuff, but then there's just so much that we don't know because of the owl lady, telling them the kids not to trust them and all that stuff, it piles on. But so you don't really know what to believe right now. And all the stuff, when they were questioning him about being a Jedi, he was kind of dodging questions, dodging answers, whatever, right? So you don't really know what's true and what's not at this point with him. But I do think that he's, obviously a notorious pirate that has a reputation. And I'm just, at this point, I feel like I don't really want to speculate too much, because I kind of just want to find out as it goes along. But I don't know. I think that he has an ulterior motive. We still don't really know what the source, right, of and like what makes it so valuable, I guess, like where all the stuff comes from. I think did we talk about this last time where like I thought that the whole planet itself, and like maybe like the core of it maybe is like made of some sort of like material that's very, very valuable or something, you know what I mean? Like maybe like deep inside it keeps reproducing some sort of crystal or some sort of energy source that makes it very valuable. I don't know, but
so we did talk about that, and we talked about maybe it's where the Kyber crystals are, maybe there's like a Jedi temple or something. So I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but it's something that like kind of piqued my ears right away. And then so I was doing a little bit of digging because I was like, oh, that's interesting. Do you remember? So when they were talking about, I forget who they were talking with about, and they were, anyways, and they were kind of surprised, like even that there's thousands of planets, and they're like, well, you don't know this, and they said they only learn about two. Do you remember what those two were?
Alderaan and Coruscant.
That's right. So
Was this a quiz
why?
question?
No, it
Yeah.
wasn't a trivia question.
Okay. Thank God for Shao because he didn't
Yeah.
remember.
No.
So I was like, well, wait a minute. If they are only learning about those two planets, there has to be significance to there. To that. So
Well, that could be a theory, like, because they're talking with Kim, the owl cat lady looking creature, which I think.
That's right, because she's asking them questions. Yeah.
Yeah. Which, side note, is another, like, well, initially is a puppet, like when you see the claw, which is a nice practical effect. I like seeing an actual puppet hand. And then, of course, when you see the rest of it, she's CG, but probably a mix. As really cool character, something new again. Character design on Star Wars is always on point. But yeah, so she's clearly the kids have, and the people on the planet, that's the only two planets that they've learnt about in the entire galaxy. And Kim's like, interesting, you must have missed the war. So they don't know anything about the events of the Galactic Civil War. So how long has Attin been sheltered?
Well, maybe because Coruscant and Alderaan were sort of pivotal in forming the Galactic Republic, even to begin with. And Coruscant itself was the capital for the Republic and then for the Empire. Alderaan was obviously, destroyed by the Death Star. So was this? Yeah. So I've just go ahead.
No, I was just going to that in itself just made me think that, like, so when Kim rolls the map out of the Old Republic jewels and there's the 9 planets on it, and she's like, each one of these planets has disappeared except for one, by the sounds of it, which they're thinking is Attin. And I was like, oh, I wonder if Alderaan was one of the planets of the Old Republic and it got destroyed. But it would be too much of a coincidence that the Death Star blowing it up just because it was Leia's home planet. It would be too much of a writer's coincidence that was one of the 9 that got destroyed or hidden from history.
Because maybe I'm stretching here, because the second episode, when they went in the ship and SM-33 asked them where they want to go, and they said at Attin. He didn't know, right? But he did say Alderaan is one of the destinations if they wanted to go. I'm not sure if he was saying, do you want to go there, or if he was saying, do you mean Alderaan? You know what I mean? Like, so he did bring that place up. So I don't know if he's like, I can take you here, or like, do you mean Alderaan because that's destroyed? You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know.
I feel like it has something to do with like from the Old Republic, when the Empire over, maybe these people, they went there to Attin and set up, and I don't know, we really need like one episode where we got a little bit more time on Attin to get. I don't need all the answers right now, but just a little bit of meat that we can chew on. You know what? I'm doing it. I'm going to do it right now. I am going to make a bold prediction. Okay?
Here it comes.
I think that the treasure, it has to do with something with the Jedi, because after Order 66, the fact that they only learn about Coruscant and Alderaan, and if we know the history of them, and maybe why they're learning, like the golden ages of civilization in the galaxy, Coruscant stands for you know, the height of sort of intellectual political achievement, and Alderaan is more like, I don't know, cultural and moral ideals. And I think that the treasure, the eternal treasure, I don't think it has to do with a physical treasure. It is got to be tied to the Jedi. It has to be. And that is my bold prediction. There's some sort of knowledge there or temple there, and I'm ride or die, baby. That's my prediction.
It's going to be something like how to successfully balance the dark side and the light side together to be the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
It would be something that Luke would find very beneficial to rebuilding the Jedi Order.
And it has to be secret because, you know,
why'd they go? Why did they spend thousands of years protecting this planet? Because that's what it's been. Like, there's obviously, that's what I was thinking. The thing that I was about to say before you had your bold prediction, Justin, was that I get strong sort of Wizard of Oz vibes. That there is the supervisor is maybe the only person on the planet that has been outside of the barrier. Because one, where would they get the technology? Where would they still know their history? They've got to have some connection and talking with people outside of their own planet. Otherwise, they would be completely creating their own civilization from scratch, essentially. So I was like, oh, this is like Wizard of Oz. There's someone who's up top who's dealing with the outside world. Or there's like a council of them.
Fern's mom has got it going on.
I also want to piggyback on your knowledge is the treasure, not an actual treasure. In episode, we get the kids all theorizing what is the great work that they're doing, and Neil goes, oh, my dad's an analyst, or my parents are analysts as well, and they're like, what are they analyzing? And him and Wim both go, our money.
They quickly changed it. They let like a little sprinkle of, I think that's foreshadowing. The treasure being the great work, and then it quickly went off to money. It's like, no.
So
no.
Are their parents bankers? But maybe that's all they've ever heard their parents talk about is like dealing with money. Or that's them theorizing that the pirates that they've dealt with have treated their money like it was worth $1 bazillion for one credit. So maybe that's just them in world going, oh, maybe their work is to do with our money. Maybe that's what Jode wants. He just wants to scam us for our money. Is he really going to help us? I don't know. So it'll be interesting. It is a good multi-threaded, is the treasure an actual treasure? Is it knowledge? Which also, one more thing, and then I'm gonna hand it off to Xiao if he has something he wants to add to that. If I remember correctly, he doesn't remember.
Pondering deeply.
At all. He's thinking of all of these things we're giving you. Episode 4 is the next one. Halfway through the season, I don't think that their first jump from Kim's moon planet with the coordinates is to add Attin. I think it's going to be another planet, which will maybe have its own thing on it. Maybe that'll have a Jedi temple on it. Maybe that'll have some treasure, but it's not going to be home, which makes me think that maybe if it is at Attin that they go to, it's not their home, and their actual home is just using a different name, as a pseudonym. But then as I say it out loud, why would they call it that if no one knows that their planet exists? So I just debunked my own theory mid-talk.
No, that's very interesting. I think that's very legitimate. Probably wrong, but legitimate. No, that's actually really interesting. Because I'm just because I'm just thinking. I do agree that it's not a physical treasure, but that's also what Mr. Sexy keeps alluding to, meaning that when he had that little brief encounter with one of his ex crew members when he was trying to rescue SM-33, that he was saying that I found the pretty much saying that I found the thing that will give us the bounty kind of thing. You know, what I promised you guys before. And so what I've been theorizing is that
Hypothesizing.
yes, is that when after episode 3, they're eventually, because they already took off, right? So either Brutus and them send a gang to try to find them, or that once he gets there, I feel like okay, this is just whatever. I feel like he will betray the kids and tell them where they are, and they will come. Because otherwise, there's not real that like they're pretty much done with this stories. They have to come somehow, and I think that Mr. Sexy will. I'm gonna call him that from now on. Thanks, Hayden.
Mr.
That
Space
he-
Swagger.
No, it's too
No.
late.
No, it's no.
No,
It's
no,
Mr.
no,
Sexy.
no.
Unless
Mr.
I
Sexy.
edit it out.
No. It's-
I don't care.
Mr.
I always thought Jude Law was attractive, but continue.
Yeah.
Continue while he takes his pants off.
Yeah. So I feel like he would. This is what. Yeah. He will get there, tell them to come, and then betray the kids, but then ultimately betray them. You know, like I don't know. This is, like, I feel like he does have to turn good at some point. I don't know. I feel like that's just kind of his arc.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's kind of the way it's heading. I don't know. I can see it happening that way, but
I get your point, and I understand. My only hang up on it is the fact that they use the word eternal treasure. So the planet itself could be the treasure. The fact that they find it.
Yeah, so that goes back to the point where I feel like it could be something to do with, you know, what the planet is made out of, that it can just keep producing this energy source, or keep producing something, but it has to be within that planet. And yeah, you're right. Eternal treasure means it won't run up, or it won't, you know.
And I mean, that
if
could
it's a
just be
mining thing. If it's a mining thing that they can't, you know, finish it, it will always get produced. So that's like eternal currency, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, but what could be like? What does it produce? Gold, money, like, you know. What if it's a physical thing? I mean, what would have that kind of value within the Star Wars universe?
Like some sort of like what do you call it when like alchemy shit, where you like some sort of like recipe, or like formula to like convert things into a valuable resource or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because other planets would have resources.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so that's why I've started to lean more away from the resourcing. Could be wrong, but it's my fucking bold prediction.
I think it's a very good one because, like you said, yeah, what's going to be eternal? And it's usually like knowledge. So maybe there is a vast library or something. I mean, if you think.
Oh,
you know,
God, that's so boring. A library, Hayden.
A library, like a
library,
Jedi library.
Could you imagine Mr. Sexy? Brutus, this way. Crack open the vault. Look at all
Books.
these books.
Look at all these books. But if you think about it, okay, so Luke on whatever planet island he's on in
Force Awakens.
No, the second one, The Last Jedi. I was like, what was it called?
Yeah.
He has books. He has some old Republic books. So where did he get them? I mean, yeah, it would be a boring treasure, but it would make sense if it was part of it, which is maybe why Wim at the very start gave us the answer. He's like, it's a Jedi temple. Maybe it is like the Jedi temple. Maybe Attin was like the capital planet of the old Republic, and it's been hidden for thousands of years. Who knows? And along the way, like all civilizations, information gets lost and parts of civilization have to rebuild differently. That's why it is suburbia now.
Winners write history. So are you thinking then that Attin was pre-Coruscant and Alderaan, or do you think it's somehow connected? For example, could it have been founded by refugees from Alderaan and Coruscant?
That's a good question. I don't know.
And they brought that there, and they're like, holy shit, the Empire's, we gotta hide a planet, we gotta rebuild the civilization and society how it's meant to be, and protect all this information and this knowledge. We can't let it fall into the hands of the Emperor.
That in itself is an interesting thought, because there is only the supervisor who would know, or whatever they have going on at the higher levels. None of the citizens know anything has existed outside of their planet. So they wouldn't know the rise of the Empire. They wouldn't know, the Sith battles or the Clone Wars or any of that stuff. They wouldn't. So it's like they don't know who Palpatine is.
You don't think the adults do?
I don't think so.
I like, how would you hide that from adults? It's like, okay, we got to build this barrier. You just lie to them. I guess you could just say it's to, we can't go out because it's dangerous or whatever.
Well, I mean,
as a kid, you can accept things like, hey, there's this guy that comes around once a year and he fucking goes down your chimney and he leaves you a bunch of presents and he eats your cookies, drinks your milk, and then he goes to the neighbors and he does this for 7 billion people in one night. And you're like, whoa. But like, as an adult, you're like, wait a minute. Like, what?
Spanning time zones and shit.
There's got to be people that are like, what are we being protected from? And maybe they lie to them, but I feel like there's got to be some people who, more than just one person.
It brings up a whole bunch of things, because that in itself would cause, civilian uprising. There would be rebels on that who would want to know the truth. You go, like, you can't keep us in the dark. Like, what are you hiding from us? Unless they, erase all of the bad seeds of society. You've got free thought as an adult of what is beyond what we can see. The droid in itself at the start goes, hey, we can't contact your kids because they're outside of the barrier and that's illegal. And they're like, what do you mean? Like, so there's a regiment there that is stopping the civilians from knowing what is out there. Not that they don't want to know, they're refused. Like, certain countries in our world are blocked off from what is going on in the actual world, without naming names.
North Korea.
Name.
Yeah, there you go.
Name them.
Shao just did. So they have governments.
I'm sure they're listening to us.
Yeah, they're going to shut us down. They actively.
One day maybe we can get into the story about how Shao escaped.
Yeah.
That's that'll be like a 2-hour special.
Okay. Yeah.
That in itself is
Christmas
actually
special.
That is in itself a good point. The episode we don't talk about, but it introduces a really good character. That in itself is a good example, because the citizens don't know really what happens outside of their country. Yet, at the same time, people like athletes are allowed to go compete in the Olympics and, football World Cups and stuff. So they will get to go outside of their world and see what the rest of the world is like. And it must be mind-blowing every time they do. So that if you mirror that into the show, maybe there are civilians that they've grown up, but they have been allowed to go outside of the barrier to, technology gather or information gather or whatnot or whatever. And they're like, holy crap, like, what is this? Like, essentially what the kids are doing, they're going to be the ones that will go back and be like, there's so much more to this world than what we've grown accustomed to.
And so that brings up a whole nother thing. By the end of this, will Attin still be the same? Or is this gonna, whatever is revealed to be the treasure, whatever is revealed by the kids to the parents or whoever, was that gonna open Attin up to the galaxy? And what does that mean? I really want to know what this fucking treasure is, man. They better not wait. It better happen in this season.
I know if it's a fucking cliffhanger,
Dude, like I'm telling you, like podcast canceled. You know, like
It depends on whether they're doing a one-off like Kenobi or if it's gonna be a multiple season like
I hope
Mando.
it's multiple.
I feel like this is a setup for a multi. But yeah, can you imagine the last scene? It's like some giant chest, and they open it, and it's POV of the chest looking up at the kids, and they're like, and then it just cuts to a fucking
Ding.
credits.
Yeah.
And then
I would
Disney's like,
fucking-
we're
Like,
canceling
I
season
would
2.
break my TV, I think.
Pulp Fiction, where they open the briefcase and the light.
Like, what is it?
And
Yeah.
that's actually the end of a series, not the season, just the
Yeah.
series over.
They're
what the
like,
fuck?
oh, you've got to read the books to see what happens next or something.
Yeah, we were inspired by the finale of The Sopranos.
Yeah, just cut it mid-episode. What?
Yeah,
Um,
I'm just keep thinking about like obviously this is not the same scenario, but if I was in the writer's room, how I would kind of progress this storyline. I mean, I'm kind of piggybacking what I said before about what Mr. Sexy would say to Brutus and all that stuff, because I think that he still expects a physical treasure, and I do agree with Justin that I don't think it is, because no one knows what the treasure is. There's legend, I guess, right? But then all they're kind of just basing off of is eternal treasure or whatever. So they might, as pirates, they probably think it's, bounty and gold and all that stuff. So I feel like one, I don't know at this point how Brutus is gonna find them without. So that's why my theory is that when he gets there, Mr. Sexy will see, oh, it's not what it is, but he also doesn't want to continue to be chased the whole for his entire life. So my thought is that he will lure them there, saying that we found the
Give
thing
them the coordinates or
and
something.
give them the coordinates and give the crew, like, I promised the crew this bounty, come here and get it. And then the kids will be like, what? Like, I thought you were a good guy or whatever. And then he comes, and then somehow he, because right now did I miss something? Like, is there a way that Brutus can find them? Because he took the printout coordinates from Kim, right? And so no one else has it right now except for Mr. Sexy and the kids.
Unless Brutus knows that, Mr. Sexy has this connection with Kim, so maybe he goes and hunts Kim down. But I don't know if Kim would,
So then technically Kim.
or follows her. Like, Kim's coming back for sure. She's not
Oh,
done.
for sure. Yeah, she's not done. Yeah.
It could be something like, so one, our theory on the blue woman from last episode, completely blown out of the water, not even mentioned or seen in this episode.
Yeah, that
But-
was your theory, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was Hayden. Yeah,
That was mine, that it was an old fling. But we all kind of agreed that she would be back because she had a lot of dialogue. Maybe she knows.
I thought
was
she'd be
being- I was-
back.
I was
I
just
thought
being-
she'd be back. Shao was like, nah, that bitch is out.
Yeah. But,
She only had 2 tits.
yeah. If there was 3, oh, dang. Oh, Justin, you
Yeah,
said
she's
4.
coming back for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
But she was very adamant that kids shouldn't be there. So maybe if she was working with Brutus and she's like, there's these kids, maybe they put a tracker on the kids' ship. That's one way of easily tracking where the ship goes. Because I thought, there's no way, as soon as you hit hyperspace, you can't track a ship unless you're actively got a cloaking thing on them or whatever, like a tracker on them. You don't know where it's going. Because it's gone. It's halfway across the galaxy in a second or whatever. I mean, they're traveling for hours to get to that moon planet. Because he's like, we got a couple of hours, Mr. Sexy, when all the kids are sleeping. He's like, so they're going for a long clip at hyperspace. There's no way you can track them unless they have, either spies on the moon planet or there's a stowaway, which might be the case if we're going with pirate themes. Or they've chipped Smee, so SM-33, because he was just in the robot brig or whatever.
Ooh.
So there are a couple of ways that we can get accidentally found with no one's actual fault. Or, like you
Yeah.
said, Mr. Sexy could betray the kid's trust and be like, yo, Brutus, I'm going to make you a deal if I get to be, in charge of my ship again or whatever. And it's going to create all of these double, triple crosses, moral dilemmas.
So, Hayden, I know that you're doing a trivia at the end of this, but Shao, quick, just automatic win trivia question for you right now. If you're traveling for 2 hours at the speed of light, how far would you go
If I speed of light is
for 2 hours?
like
How many kilometers would you have traveled?
in kilometers.
Yeah, in kilometers.
Light
You
travel
are
is
Canadian.
Quickly. Yeah, 3, 2, 1.
63 million.
You
63.
traveled 2 times the
63
speed of light.
kilometers. He's right.
Wow. So far.
63
Do you know?
kilometers.
Do you know the
63
answer,
million.
Justin?
63 million 233,050. Wait, hold on. I forgot to carry the one. And 577, I think, kilometers.
Holy cow. That was really good.
Mm.
That was really good. Yeah. You know what? I saw some things online and it kind of bugged me actually. People were comparing, saying stuff like, "Oh my gosh, Kim's the new Grogu. Oh, Kim." They're making all
What?
these Kim Grogu comparisons.
Why?
And I gotta tell you, I try not to see anything before I watch the episode, but I had saw a couple things and I was like, oh shit, whatever. But like it was no spoilers, but people were just about Kim. Oh, finally. Blah, blah, blah. And so I got a little bit excited. I was like, oh, I can't wait. Like, what's this Kim character about? And then I watched it and I was like, I don't get it. Like, don't even put Kim and Grogu in the same sentence. Are you kidding me?
I don't even see any sort of connection. Maybe even their
No.
size is like not kind of, I
Like,
guess, but like
size and
what are you
like,
talking about?
yeah, he's small. Holy cow, fuck Hayden. Do you have a calculator? Or are you doing this by like
No, he has an abacus.
longhand?
I thought you were having a talk about Kim, so I wasn't saying anything. I was just going to say the only
okay.
comparison is they've got 3-fingered hands. That's the only thing that they have in common. Not even the
Hayden
same
has
species.
hands. Him and his 3 fingers, hey? He's always
Yeah,
bringing up
Kim had
3 fingers.
hands. She had, her feet that operated as
Claws.
hands as well as wings.
Yeah, or talons.
Yeah,
Well, we don't know if she's a bird or is she a cat.
she's
got
an
wings.
owl.
She's an owl with whiskers and a nose like a cat. It's clearly 2 animals.
Yeah.
Anyway, science tells me that you cannot go more than 2 times the speed of light. You can only go 1 times the speed of light, which is 671 million miles per hour.
Not 2
I was
times the
missing
speed
a
of light.
I was missing a
how-
0 at the end.
2
you're traveling
hours
for 2 hours
would be
at the
1.2
speed of light.
billion kilometers
1.2 billion kilometers.
if you were traveling for 2 hours.
Damn.
So they're going a long way from that port, which they absolutely decimated with the fuel line, which was hilarious. See,
Yeah, that was awesome.
that's very Jack Sparrow. He's just like, let's get out of here the wackiest way we can and hope that it works, and it did.
Yeah. By the
So-
way, I love how KB just fucking owns Mr. Sexy in this episode. When he's like,
I
oh yeah,
don't
we'll be
trust you."
partners. And they're like, no, we're not partners. And I think she's one who's like, no, like, you work for us. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
sets him straight. I love that.
It's like, don't you sleep or whatever? She's like, I don't trust you.
I knew it. I knew from the beginning that I love her character.
Yeah, she's good. Still your favorite character?
Still my favorite character. What
Yeah.
what about you guys? Do you guys have a favorite character right now? And has it changed since the beginning?
I don't know if I really had a favorite in the first one. I really like Wim. He's kind of a young Han Solo. I love his curiosity. I love his like willingness to be adventurous. His, he's not a Jedi, but he's kind of like got the courage of one. He just like, I think Hayden described him in the first episode as a dreamer. And I love that. I'm a dreamer myself, I could I've if I was one of those kids, those four kids, that's probably who I'd be. You know, a little bit scared, but also what is this? Like I'm interested. I'm like, let's see where this takes me. So I really like Wim.
Hayden, you don't just tell us. We know it's Mr. Sexy, but why?
Yeah.
Well, he
why
wasn't in
Mr.
it.
Sexy?
He was in it from episode 2, not the first episode. Why
That's
is
why
it
you didn't
Mr.
have a
Sexy?
favorite. You didn't.
That's why you didn't have a favorite.
no,
I
he
didn't have a
technically-
favorite. I was like, I don't know.
Technically
I'm
he
waiting.
was.
I'm not really into
Yeah,
kids.
He
sure.
was. He was in the first episode, technically.
Technically, yeah, he was. I just want to go. This is I'm waiting for them to each to get an episode. Sort of like, I think the next one will probably be on Fern because she wasn't really in it much this one. She didn't really get front and center in terms of being the captain. This is very much a KB episode, and they even mention it like in the first scene with the parents because the parents are like, oh, we can't even monitor like KB's life monitor or whatever. We can't read it or whatever, or whatever they said. So I was like, she's the only one that get mentioned by name, and then she's very dominant in terms of she questions Jode on his ethics, and she's talking with Kim, and Kim's like, use your brain, don't use your gut, you're the smartest one of the kids. So it was a good episode for her, and I think she's going to come out from being the sidekick to being her own character. Wim, I think, is still one of my favorites too, because I'm like, he's a young Han Solo with a little bit of Luke in there. He wants adventure, but he doesn't quite know the rights and the wrong ways to go about that. He's like, oh, there's a button that I shouldn't push. Boop. Oh, there's a building I shouldn't go into. Blah, I'll go into it. But, they're each going to get something to do because, when they're on the ship, they're like, everyone gets a role on that ship when they're trying to escape. So I was like, they're all going to, it's going to be good. So, but yeah, Mr. Sexy, because he has, he's got little bits of everything. I'm very interested in his backstory because is he lying? What is he telling the truth? What isn't the truth? Was he a Jedi? Does he just have, like George Lucas once said, that everybody possesses the Force? It's just some are better at channeling it than others. Like every essence has something, and maybe he's just
Isn't it
learned.
the midichlorians?
Yeah, the midichlorians. Everybody has them. It just depends on the level. So I'm
God.
like,
Way to ruin it, George.
but at least like maybe it'll even go into, this isn't to do with the character, but like Rebels goes into like the spiritual side of the Force more in terms of it shows different aspects. Maybe that's how Jode's character was able to harness the Force enough to do, but not manipulate people, just to manipulate objects like the key and the light switch. And, he can't physically.
Child's play, pretty much.
Yeah.
And not enough because even when they were escaping, right, there's that one point where he couldn't sense a droid, and KB did. Like, yeah, you're not even a Jedi. You can't even sense a droid coming.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you guys think that they're gonna slip in? I guess there's only a few more episodes left, but I was wondering if there's gonna be one episode where it's like another timeline, like the past, or that kind of, what do you call those episodes? What do you call those episodes? It's not a bottle episode, right? What's a
Filler
bottle
episode?
episode mean again?
Filler episode. Like a flashback one? It's just
Yeah,
like
or something.
A prologue
something
episode
like-
or something.
Yeah, or like a Mr. Sexy background thing. You know what I mean? I don't know. I wonder. I don't think they don't have time for that. I don't. Feel
I don't
like.
see it coming.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can do it creatively with like dialogue.
Watch
or
the
maybe-
fucking spin off.
Or it'll be
Jack.
yeah. Or it'll be one of the cliffhangers. It'll be like, this is someone will show up that calls him by name and we don't know who that person is, or it's the main bad dude and they're like, how the hell do they know him?
Fern's mom,
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll be like,
Mr. Sexy?
sexy?
Mom.
Or she'll
And then
know,
it's like credits.
or she'll
Yeah,
know,
credits,
she'll
yeah.
know him as Crimson Jack,
Yeah.
which means Fern's mom was like a pirate at some point. On that, who's ready for some trivia?
Me.
Me.
I am.
All right. So, as we've become accustomed to on these last few episodes, we're going to end things with a little bit of trivia. This one is based specifically on episode 3.
Oh,
Because we got a little bit more story this time around, so we didn't have to go into the deep dives of Star Wars lore. I was going to call it Totally Wizard Trivia again, but that was Justin's thing. So mine's going to be, it's a very well-made fuel line trivia. Anyway, we all know the rules. Play along at home. If you know the
ding, ding,
answer.
ding. Mr.
Ding, ding.
Sexy's your man.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding ding ding. True.
True. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 15 odd questions. So enough to have an outright winner.
Oh, okay.
A lot of them kind of roll off one another. So if you know your episode, you'll know the answer. If you didn't watch it recently, it might be tough. All right, let's start off with a super easy one. Who directed this episode?
Oh, it's so funny because I looked at this too.
He also directed the last episode, I believe.
Yeah, he's also a
feel like I
writer.
know the
He's a writer. Ding, 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 the writer.
David.
Yeah. Fuck. I knew it was David something. Does it start with an L?
Yep. Starts with an L.
LOW something.
Yep. Lau.
Is that right?
David Lau.
Lowry?
David Lowry.
Lowry. That's
I'm
what
gonna
I
give
said.
I'm gonna give a half point to Shao because he knew it was David and he gave me Lau, so he
There you go.
got partial answer. All right.
Damn it. I said
you-
David Lowski.
I still give you half a point for it. So
Thank you. I appreciate the pity half point.
Pity point.
okay, next question.
In the lead, baby.
How do you spell Kim?
Ding, 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 ding.
Okay.
Justin.
KH apostrophe YYM.
It's 99% there, Justin.
Ding 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 ding. I believe there are 3 Y's in her name.
No, you're wrong, Shao.
Damn it.
I'm gonna give it to Justin. It's 2
Is
M's.
it not?
It's 2 M's.
Oh, there's. I thought
it's
there's.
KH apostrophe YMM.
Oh,
dang. Why did I think it
I
was
thought it was YYM. Right.
Oh.
It's
So-
why it's Kim.
Kim. So that's for Justin as 1 to
Right.
Justin, half Shao. Question 3. How many planets does the map of the Jewels of the
Ding, ding,
Old
ding, ding,
Republic
ding, ding,
have
ding,
on
ding,
it?
ding.
Correct. It has 9
Oh,
planets
yeah.
on it, one of which is Attin. Question number 4. What are the 3 names that we know that Jude Law's character goes by?
Ding, 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 ding. Jode, Captain Silva, and Crimson Jack.
Correct.
Captain Silva.
I think
Oh,
it's Silvo, but it's close
Silvo.
enough.
Okay, I'll give it
Silvo.
to you. Fine. That's okay.
It's my accent. It's
And
my
for
accent.
a
Silva.
bonus point, what is his new name?
Ding, 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 Mr. Sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Ciao. Go to
Mr.
fucking
Sexy.
sleep, bro.
So Justin gets the bonus
So
point on
good.
that. So he's banging ahead. He's 4 to half ahead after 4 questions. I don't know how that works. Okay,
I'll take it.
next question. Question 5. Which of the 2 kids get to
Oh, God.
fly the starship?
Ding ding.
Ding, ding.
Shao.
Oh, nice.
Okay, to fly. Oh no, this is the. Oh, I got it. I'm thinking of the wrong thing.
You got
Oh,
He's stalling.
Fern.
Ding,
Uh,
ding, ding.
is it
ding,
already
ding,
wrong?
wrong.
Ding. It's
I'm literally just naming. Oh yeah, guys. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry,
I'll tell
Justin?
you what I was thinking.
What are you
Neil.
up to? Who are the 2 kids?
It's Neil and KB.
No.
Wim. Neil and Wim.
It's-
Yes,
no one
Damn it.
gets that because you didn't get them both right. It's
Yeah.
Neil and Wim. They get to fly the spaceship the first time. Like,
I was thinking of who the 2 got to get to shoot the.
Yeah, that was Fern and Wim.
And yeah, that's why I said Fern first. Anyways,
That's why I thought I was thinking KB. I keep wanting to say K8. Anyways,
your wife. Okay, go ahead.
my wife.
next question. Which 2 kids get to use the gun cannons against the
Ding, ding, ding,
X-Wings?
ding, 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 ding. Fern and Wim.
Correct. Justin gets that one.
What are you talking about?
He
I dinged that.
He dinged early. He dinged just in
Did you
time.
really? I
Yeah.
think there's some. Okay, maybe there's lag.
Maybe
but-
there's lag.
I'm known for dinging a bit early, Shao. It's all good.
That's true. That's true.
Okay. Justin, you're pulling ahead. I'm just going to run through the questions because you might have already won. Who knows? Next question.
Yeah, probably.
Next question. Get the dingers ready.
Well, the last question's worth 9 points, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, always.
What is KB doing at the time that everyone else is flying or manning the cannons? What is she doing? She's trying to fix something.
Yes.
Ding, 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 ding.
Justin.
She's fixing the hyperspace jump how to jump to
Correct.
hyperspace.
She's fixing that. Next question. What is the four-eyed rodent who lives inside of SM-33's eye socket called?
I don't know a fucking name.
Pass. I have no idea.
A big clue.
Is it a real name? Is it a real name or is it the name that Neil gave him?
Is the name that I guess Neil gave it. This one I had to look up. I didn't even see it or hear it in the episode. But if it's snowing outside, you create a
Snowball.
Shao gets a point. He got in there first.
Oh, ding, 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 snowball.
Snowball.
Oh, nice.
Oh, so I guess it snows at Attin.
I guess, yeah.
Ooh.
Fake seasons.
All right, next question. Who is going to set up a meeting with the supervisor? It's amongst the parents. They're at the start, and one of them says, "I'm going to set up an emergency meeting with the supervisor."
Ding, 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 ding.
Justin's. There's only one person.
Mom.
Yeah.
It's got it
Has to be
going.
Fern's mom.
Correct. Okay. So far, next question. All the episodes have been named after lines of dialogue in the episode. Who says the title of this episode?
Ding, 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 ding. Kim.
Correct. And what is the episode called?
Very interesting as an astrogation problem.
Correct. And that wasn't a bonus point. I just wanted to know if you knew that. Okay, next question. Actually, that was the next question.
Which, by the way, what's an astrogation?
I don't think it's a
That
real
has to do with
word.
astronomy, like figuring out like where planets and stars are.
I looked it up.
Must
It's not
be.
actually a word.
Not
So, well, not in
English anyway.
Not in English, yeah. Next question. What does Brutus refer to the kids as? Now think of what type of creature he kind of looks like.
Ding, 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 ding.
Justin.
Rodents?
No. So he's a wolf. What would a
Pups.
Oh, ding, ding, ding.
Is that, I didn't think.
What did he say?
He
was
said
gonna say
pups.
sheep. I was going to say sheep.
I'm going to give it to Shao, even though he didn't ding in. It is pups.
Is it?
Ah.
It is pups. It's kind of funny
You
because
threw
it's
me
like,
a bone.
yeah, and like, oh, get those pups. It sounds kind of funny when he's so like gruff about it.
Was that my first actual point? That's my first. I'm at 1.5 right now.
You're on 2.5.
2.5. All right.
And Justin, I'll tell you,
Around.
there's three more questions.
Justin has 8.
So there's two more questions, and then the final one is the winning question, regardless of who's
Yeah.
losing.
Always. Yeah.
Waiting for that one.
Next question. What color is the food that Jode makes on
Ding,
the
ding, ding, ding.
Starship Shao?
Blue.
You were so
Wrong.
confident with that answer. Yeah.
That's the milk. The milk is
wait.
blue.
What was the question? I didn't hear the rest.
What color? What color is the food that Jode makes?
Oh, I thought it was blue.
Ding, ding, green.
Correct. It's green.
Yeah, it was
Let's
blue.
go.
Okay, penultimate question. Neil refers to what their parents do back on Attin as what?
Ding, ding, ding. The great work.
Correct,
Oh.
Justin. Okay, last question. Here we go. How y'all doing at home? Hopefully you're kicking butt just like
Hopefully you're
Mr.
doing better than
JT's
I am.
I just want to make it clear for the record. Shao knows all of these. I just happen to ding faster.
He's
That's
just
correct.
faster.
Yeah.
He's just
yeah,
a quick
that's right.
finisher. I mean,
Yeah.
he's quick off the mark.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
Yep. Won't dispute
Last question. What does Kim refer to Fern's head of class badge?
that.
Ding, 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 ding.
Bean too.
It's a symbol.
There's a specific word that she calls it. It's quite a difficult question to end on.
It's yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to remember the specifics of it, but it's
It's a proto-republic Artifact.
Artifact.
Oh man, don't even remember hearing those words.
It's very throwaway when she like jumps around and was like, "What is that on your back?"
Yeah.
It has the same symbols around it, I think, as her map of the jewels of the Old Republic. So no one gets the extra 50 points at the end there. So let me calculate. The winner is... It's Justin. I'm not even going to take the time to count all the questions. Ding,
I
ding,
just
ding.
want to say I'm on a winning streak against the guy with the winning streak.
I think my streak was like at like 3 or 4 or something. Because you got some. Oh wait, you're doing the next one. So
yeah.
So you can get it back because I haven't won one in forever.
No.
No. Anyway, folks, that brings us to the end of another thrilling and hypothesizing theoretical thought. Lots of thinking going on here. Lots of things getting thrown out there. And loving where the series is going so far. I haven't watched the last couple of Star Wars series, but it's a breath of fresh air in terms of storytelling and world building in the Star Wars universe that I am thoroughly enjoying. I'm getting nods from the other two gentlemen that they're liking it too. I think it's getting back to its roots of, Star Wars isn't just for adults, it's for kids. And I think that's where good storytelling is coming from, because you can go a lot more whimsical places, which is working for them in spades. No, you don't agree that for kids is good?
You got to stop using whimsical. That's all. That's why I was saying no to just whimsical. Yeah.
Zephyrus.
Go back to whimsical. Yeah,
it's a breath of fresh air. Whatever it is, they're doing a good job, and I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun watching it. If you want to join in on the discussion, you can find us on all your major social media channels.
That being said, we would love to hear some of your theories, and if we read any cool ones, we'll definitely share it on the pod. So write in your theories, write in what you think is going to happen, who you agree with out of all three of us. If you have any theories that you think make sense, we'd love to hear from you guys. And that's all from me.
Hit us up on X and Blue Sky.
X and Blue Sky. Next week will be Mr. Justin leading the charge on episode 4. So this one's to you.